someone constantly there behind you. It's a scary concept. I wouldn't like it, so thank God it was Millie.
Did you do this? Where's the doctor?
Whenever Ruby and the Doctor are apart from one another, it all falls apart.
I've cried so many times watching episode 4. It's incredible.
Sometimes what Doctor Who does so well is the human monster, it's the monster within.
What's it like to be permanently watched by someone or something forever?
They're in beautiful, sunny Wales.
Spectacular!
How can you tell?
Oh, that smell, that green, Ruby, that coastline.
Filming in West Wales and Tenby was the only day that we were working with Ncuti Gatwa. It was really exciting to both be in this incredible location and also be working with this generational actor at the same time.
That reaction to me coming out the TARDIS is real because I love Wales and I've been working here for a little while, and I was able to tap into a real place of like being like, yes, we're in Wales.
Chose this location because it has this kind of rugged quality, and we wanted somewhere that felt quite remote and felt like Ruby at the start of the episode is in this kind of like wilderness on her own, no help from the Doctor and no help from anyone else. And of course, it's like incredible natural beauty.
When they first suggested it to us, I was like, nope, we're not doing it. I'm not taking the unit to Tenby. But of course I gave in because I knew that it worked so well for those scenes. It was worth the pain and torment of getting the whole unit there.
We've got this crane up on the hill, and that's because we want to get these amazing panoramic swooping shots. You can see behind us we've got like 20, 30 people just working on getting this crane built. And prior to that, they had to kind of lug it all the way up this very uneven terrain.
It took an operation, a lot of planning, and thankfully it made its way out.
So we had 2 TARDISes for that section because we wouldn't have had time to repaint the first TARDIS. Once we'd done those scenes, we took it away and we replaced it with another TARDIS that we'd been painting up off-site to look really old.
We've aged it up, made it look, you know, like it's been sat on this rock for 60 years. And the art department have done an incredible job on that. They've covered it in moss and stripped back the paint and had bracken growing up the sides. But also all credit to the DP Sam Kerr, because he knew that if we put it there in the morning, the sun would rise behind it, and lo and behold, it did.
It was the most beautiful sunrise I think I've ever seen.
I love showcasing Wales in the show. I think it's very important. We all live here as a huge Welsh community making the show.
It's really important to all of us that we keep Doctor Who here. As we have grown, the production and creative community in Wales has grown, but they were always here. It was about just allowing their light to shine more.
And it's nice to see it on screen. It's nice to I'll try and do that as often as I can and show off this brilliant landscape, this beautiful place.
Forget I said anything.
No, tell me what happened.
Something profane has happened with the disturbance of that fairy circle. There's been a lack of respect for the Doctor, who's very respectful of alien cultures and alien life forms and alien mythologies. He's just walked through something very, very powerful. So something's gone wrong, and something is just corrected. It's like Ruby has to spend a life of penitence in which she eventually does something good, which brings the whole thing full circle, which kind of forgives them in the end.
Well, yeah, what did they say?
No. Just give them their respect, Ruby. Let them rest in peace.
Ruby arrives at that pub, and it's really a chance for a load of great Welsh actors for a long, like 12-page scene to sit there and be spooky and be as frightening as you possibly can, mostly to mislead the audience into what direction the story's going. You think you're watching a ghost story.
Mad Jack is unbound.
So many different personalities and dynamics in one pub. It's very hostile. The actors have been great in this scene. They're also so good at, creeping me out. So that's been great.
You believe every word that they're saying in the pub until you realise that they're actually kind of commenting on racism from English people. It's a story that keeps on playing tricks.
Yes, you can pay with your phone.
It was a really fun scene, but it was really intense. I think it's the first scene where you're like, ugh, what's happened? Where's the friend? Where's Doctor?
The art department did a fantastic job of exaggerating and pushing the design that was already there to give it this kind of spooky feel, slightly almost like haunted location.
That lovely oldie worldy feel that we wanted, and it's beautiful. There's a lovely fireplace.
We worked with the SFX team to just give a very subtle, thin layer of kind of smoke. It really helps add a kind of cinematic touch, and which just kind of sets the mood and the tone of the scene. The pub itself didn't have the perfect view out of the window 73 yards away where we could place the old woman. What we had to do was cheat the view out of the pub window. We kind of cut out a piece of window and essentially erected it somewhere different with a better view, and then filmed Millie's POV shots through that pane of glass to get a nicer angle on the old woman. But in fact, the window you see in the pub looks out onto a slightly uninspiring car park. Yeah.
When we did Doctor Who in the past, we always loved including an episode that was very companion-led. I mean, what a role for Millie's companion, going across decades.
So my 2 episodes were the first for Millie Gibson playing Ruby Sunday as the new companion, which was really exciting, and she took to it like a duck to water. She was so good.
Her very first scene was just the most simple scene of all of her in the flat, just looking out the window at the old woman underneath. No dialogue, the simplest scene. And in that moment, I just watched those watches and thought, oh, she's got it. There's an absolute poise there. You don't often get that in young actors. There's a real stillness to her that was beautiful.
It's just a great classic Russell T Davies montage. We return to the same shot again and again and again.
We had birthday cards, and out the window you can see a change in the landscape of the city.
Little elements of high tech and drones flying through the sky and stuff like that. It's just to kind of allude to the idea that we're moving forward in time without kind of hitting you over the head with it too hard.
It's going to be funny seeing myself at 40. I had to get a movement coach to be 40 years old. And when I told everyone that when I got back to base, they went, what? And I was like, now I know how to walk like you guys. And they were like, didn't go down well. This is how 75 people walk. And then that's how 40-year-olds walk. It's like, bloody hell, I can't wait.
I will go to His Majesty and prepare for government.
The Albion campaign headquarters was a really incredible location that I really loved. The location itself was literally just an empty grey box. So it was really a kind of an incredible act of heroism by the art department in kind of transforming it into this campaign headquarters for the kind of evil Roger Ap Gwilliam character, with posters of Roger and high-tech computers because it's set in 2046. It was actually one of my favourite locations.
I just can't stand my face. Seeing posters 10 foot high and 20 foot wide or whatever everywhere, it's really unnerving for me. And when we were doing the interview with them all, because we're doing the television studio, so there's lots of screens around, they're showing what the camera sees at all times. I was talking to them all, and all I could see was my face on 10 screens. That was kind of like a nightmare, really.
I have pledged to defend our borders and set us up on high as one of the greatest nations in the world.
But we're members of NATO.
When did NATO ever, fire a nuclear missile? Ever? 2031, the Great Russian War, not a single rocket.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Are you saying that you actually want to fire a nuclear missile?
We went to the real BBC in Wales, and it was a really weird experience because it was our crew shooting, but with their crew playing people in the show.
Behind the scenes to record our cameras, shooting their cameras, shooting them, to record.
Mark it.
Mark up.
We had the very brilliant Amol Rajan agree to come and film a scene as himself.
I don't usually look like this, but today, for one day only, I'm Amol Rajan in, I think, the year 2046. Aging myself to look like this took a very, very long time. Because obviously, I'm a very young, handsome, tight-jawed guy with a beard. They put flecks of grey in my hair. I've never had a tash before. Never had a tash. They shaved off my beard, which was quite shocking. I'm finding the whole experience absolutely exhilarating, to be honest. It's amazing. I feel like a Hollywood A-lister, and I'm very much not.
Working with him was somewhat surreal. You know, he's someone who's been around for a long time in the media, and he's just so brilliant at turning it on and performing, and that's exactly what he did in this scene. Essentially playing himself, he kind of delivered on his trademark kind of searing journalism and was able to give us that.
There's a certain type of energy that like a journalist has. He has a very incredible mind as well. So to be able to be matched with someone like Roger, who has that type of mind, with someone then on the screen, I think it elevated the scene. For him, it was just like every day, I guess.
I could make it snow once upon a time.
We decided to kind of cast a new actor to play Old Ruby and found this amazing actor called Amanda.
How are you? You okay? How are you?
Who not only was a brilliant actor, but also had a kind of uncanny physical resemblance, I think, to Millie, and was just a joy to work with, was so committed and up for it. Shooting with her on the cliff tops, she just totally came alive and gave this spellbinding performance that delivers on the kind of emotional heart of the episode, I think.
I read the script very carefully, but for instance, Ruby, when she's my age, right at the end, she says,
I'm sorry, I took so long. I tried and I tried and I tried so hard.
It's very mysterious. It's a sort of script that you could go on thinking about and thinking about.